Perhaps no other country has the history and culture to make any adventure seeker salivate with delight. Located in Eurasia, Turkey offers the best of both worlds. It has the quintessential charm of Asia and the modern ambience of Europe. Turkey is steeped in history. Known as the cradle of civilization, walking around its streets is like being transported back in time. Most areas remain practically untouched. However, recent modernization in the time of Ataturk has helped bolster Turkey's growing economy. It seems that everywhere you look, Turkey always has something to catch your eye. Driving along one province to the other provides a great chance to witness the ever-changing landscapes that it has to offer. This is exactly what I will do. Come and join me on this epic journey that will take me around many well-known sites, as well as some hidden gems that might prove to be a surprise. Welcome to part 1 of our 3-part adventure here in Turkey. I was invited by my good friend Ersan Astur to travel around Turkey. He is the owner of Orion Tours, and they make custom tours to match your every whim. From high-end tours that cater to the upper class to the more adventurous motorcycle tours around the Anatolian Peninsula. Orion can custom make a tour just for you. Ersan suggested that we begin our tour in Mardin and work our way into Istanbul. Seeing a chance to catch up with old buddies of mine, I decided to pay Erdogan a visit before jetting off to Mardin.
Welcome to Turkey.
I'm very happy I could visit you.
Please sit.
I have some small present from the Philippines.
Yes, thank you very much. And also I have some souvenir from Turkey. Before this book, I am the amateur photographer, but now I am the professional photographer because I have the book.
Erdogan is the president of the Aircraft Owners and Pilots Association here in Turkey. His office is almost like a museum filled with his aeronautical achievements, both as a pilot and as a skydiver. While chatting, he helped me set up a flight over Istanbul.
From Turkey,
Thank you.
with our best wishes.
Thank you. But more on that later. For now, it's time to buckle up and fly to Mardin.
Well, this is Ataturk Airport. The last time I was here, I had problems finding flight plans for the airplane. So this place is very memorable for me. I kind of know all the areas that I have to go to. 737, Turkish Airways.
Mardin is only a few hours away from Istanbul by commercial airline. This is where our journey begins. Joining me will be Jenny T and Father Mike Lambino. They were my classmates back in college, but we've kept in touch. Epic adventure right in the middle of Turkey. Jenny and Father Mike will provide me with some information on this trip.
So Jenny, what's the plan for today?
We're going to Mardin.
What's there in Mardin, Father Mike?
Mardin, well, for one thing, you have a village that is built on a hill and the houses are made of limestone.
Okay.
So it's very nice to see. The other important thing is there is an Assyrian Christian church there, and it's the community which still speaks Aramaic.
And what's Aramaic?
Aramaic, it's a mixture of Hebrew and Arabic, and it was the language spoken by Jesus.
After all, we are following the footsteps of the Old Testament. You heard it right. Many places that we will visit today are written about in the first few books of the Holy Bible.
In 3000 BC, Mardin looks exactly like this rock face. But the people carved and built their houses on the side of the hills.
Walking along the streets of Mardin, you can get a sense of what life was like hundreds of years ago. The market is filled with vendors selling vegetables, dry goods, and even shoes. Due to the tight and inclined streets, most people are still using a donkey or horses to get from one place to the other. But the trip has gotten us weary, and we needed to fill our tanks with some authentic Turkish cuisine.
I want for you to meet Nejo.
Hi, Nejo.
Hi, welcome to Mardin.
Okay.
This is the best restaurant of Mardin.
It looks
Church
very
is
nice.
Murat Pasha. So you'll have the local food you taste here.
Sounds good.
Come on.
Nice view, huh?
Yeah.
Lamb is a staple here in Turkey. That's because most of the people here are Muslim and pork is not a part of their diet. Most dishes here are accompanied by yogurt. It is served everywhere. Even our drinks have yogurt in them. Eating in this old building is a treat. Even the decorations and the utensils are made from real silver. Now that we've had a taste of what Mardin cuisine is like, it's time to explore the city. More on that when we return on Asian Air Safari. Mardin is an example of how Turkey is as a whole. It is one of the few countries in which two prevalent religions, Muslim and Christianity, coexist in a peaceful manner. To illustrate my point, we visit the Church of 40 Martyrs right in the middle of Mardin. The church was built in 569 AD and is still active until today. As we enter, we even got a special treat because one of the caretakers offered to sing us a passage from one of the historic manuscripts written in Aramaic.
Joy, I'm overwhelmed with happiness because here we have the prayer book in Aramaic. And Aramaic was the language spoken by Jesus. And we are here in this Kirklar Kilisesi, is the Church of the 40 Martyrs. It's an Syrian Orthodox church.
Only a few streets away is an old mosque. Entering a mosque requires some preparations, as Nejo explains.
Cleaning the nose, smelling, senses, get ready to meet with the God. By cleaning the mouth, taste, get better, so ready for meeting the God. Cleaning the ears, hearing.
Just like in the church, we came just in time to witness the Imam chanting a prayer from the Quran.
Just a few blocks away was a Catholic chapel, and now we're in a Muslim mosque. This is what we call interreligious living in this community.
It seemed that there is so much more to be explored in Mardin, but the clock was ticking. And if I were to see the rest of Turkey, we must keep on moving. Our next stop is Urfa. After a few hours in the van, we arrive in Sanli Urfa, or as the locals fondly call it, Urfa. Something in the mountains caught my eye.
We're in one of the oldest towns in Turkey called Urfa, and it is said that Abraham, the prophet Abraham, was born here.
And you know what, Joy? King Nimrod was threatened because he knew that Abraham would grow to be a great man. So he built a fire and he wanted to throw Abraham into the fire. He formed a slingshot using those two columns.
Right there.
Yes, but when Abraham was in midair, the fire turned into a lake and the wooden ships turned into fish. So today there is a lake there with fish, carps, and they're held as sacred.
And it still exists up
It's
to today.
there, it's there.
Wow.
So why don't we go through the gates to look at the light?
I like to see that.
Okay.
Let's go.
Urfa is situated on a plain under big open skies. Is located about 80 kilometers east of the Euphrates River. It is best known for being the birthplace of the prophet Abraham.
You look, Joy, this is the lake.
Yeah.
And look at the fish. From the start, they have been here, and people are not allowed to catch or eat them,
Yeah.
but they are allowed to feed them.
And to this place,
Yeah.
during the Christian era, they built the church. You see the bell tower?
Yes.
And then Islamic time, the little area like for the prayer, the mosque. They made it the room where Abraham followed into the hall.
Right here.
Right there. And then men's section where they can do the prayer, women's section.
Like most parts of Turkey, Urfa has a strong sense of interreligious living as well. Most churches are situated just a few meters away from mosques. It is truly very inspiring to see these two religions coexisting.
And Mike, this is the
This is the niche. Every mosque has it.
And
It
always-
indicates the direction towards Mecca.
Right.
So this is where the men would kneel and bow. At the exact spot where Abraham was believed to have fallen. So it's in here. And you see there's water and there's a lot of fish.
Yeah. And this extends all the way to the
Yes,
main.
it extends to that big fish. Where the big fish are?
Right.
Yes, they're the same fish, water crop.
It looks pretty high from where we are. And it's a long fall from that point up to that lake. He's lucky it was water instead of fire.
The trek to the two pillars is quite demanding. There are many steps to reach the top. However, you can barely feel the strain because each step up makes you get a better view of Urfa. Once we reached the top, the view went from good to absolutely stunning. You could see each house in rich detail. The long walk was definitely worth it. Before we leave Urfa, I decided to take a stroll around the city to get a better perspective on what life is like here. Like all places, the marketplace is the heart of any city. But deep within the market lies a place that took me by surprise.
I noticed that all the men are just hanging out, playing backgammon, having their tea. Is this very typical
It
in
is
this
very
area?
typical in this area. You know, the man who's retired, who's got nothing to do, so they come up here, have some tea with the friends. They play backgammon or cards.
Okay, this is my ambition then.
Yeah, or
I could just hang out here and play backgammon and cards.
sure, you can do so. You could be like one of the Turks.
But I'm
From
still too
Urfa.
young.
Yeah, you're still too young, not retired. You're right.
This was a typical hotel during the Ottoman Empire, when traders would come and leave their camels on the ground floor and do some trading of their stuff. And on the second floor will be where they would sleep. Would have been very interesting if I was able to come and visit during that time. Well, they're going shopping. I think I'll hang out with some old men over there.
Economic woes do not stop the Turks from enjoying life to the fullest. I chanced upon some men playing dominoes in a corner. Not even the language barrier could stop me from communicating with them. Before I knew it, I was immersed in a game with them. Let's hope it's just a friendly game and not once with bets.
I wish I was retired and can play all afternoon with these guys.
I noticed that some men were smoking a water pipe while playing. Naturally, I just had to try it.
I don't think I was meant to do this.
The tobacco they use contains bits of fruit, so it doesn't taste that bad. When we return, we climb up the famous Mount Nemrut and witness the most spectacular sunrise. Only here on Asian Air Safari. We are on our way to Mount Nemrut, located in the province of Katha. On the way there, we chanced upon a little village with funny-shaped houses. We decided to make a little pit stop. After all, it was a long trip, and this is a great chance to stretch our legs. Nejo informed us that we were in the ancient city of Haran, and Father Mike also had a little bit of information that came as a welcome surprise.
This is the walled city of Haran, where Abraham lived, right?
Yes, it is mentioned in the Old Testament in the book of Genesis, and this is where Yahweh called Abraham to go to the promised land.
I see.
Haran's most famous resident is, of course, the prophet Abraham, who stayed here for a few years in the 1900 BC. Haran is probably one of the oldest continuously inhabited spots on Earth. Besides being famous for the residence of Abraham, Haran is also famous as a center for worship of Sin, the god of the moon. Worship of the sun, moon, and the planets were popular in Haran. They even built a school and a tower to help them observe the skies. Unfortunately, the Mongolians destroyed this in 382 AD. One thing that wasn't destroyed, however, were the beehive houses. Beehive houses were built due to lack of wood and ready source of reusable bricks. The design dates back to the 3rd century BC, although the houses here today are a little bit more modern. Although beehive houses here in Haran are unique, similar styles can be seen in neighboring countries like Syria and even as far as Italy. Some beehive houses even have television satellite dishes for the locals to catch their favorite soccer as they play.
And this is the typical beehive house type that they have only here in Haran. It's made out of mud and bricks, and it keeps you cooler during summer and warmer during winter. And I can feel the difference once I'm outside and inside this house. So this is what they do for
Crack wheat.
crack
Where
wheat.
they put the grains in there, then with that tube on each side, one by one hit and crack the wheat. So that's what this yellow rice comes.
Hard work, huh?
We arrived in Katha before sunrise. This was perfect because it is said that some of the most spectacular sunrises can be seen on top of Mount Nemrut. To get there, you can take a mule, or in my case, I decided to get some exercise and hike up the mountain. It wasn't an easy climb. The peak seemed much closer from the ground. The cold weather did not help as well. But being the trooper that I am, I kept on walking until I reached the top. I was just in time to watch the sunrise.
It's 4 o'clock in the morning. I'm running out of breath already. I can tell I don't have enough exercise, and the air is so thin, it's so hard to breathe. I think I'll go down by mule later on.
When I reached the top, there were lots of other hikers eagerly awaiting the sunrise. They were wrapped in warm blankets due to the biting cold. Some people even broke into a song. As the sun rose over the horizon, it cast its light on the mountain and revealed the man-made marvel of the tomb of King Antiochus. The tomb was discovered by an Ottoman geologist back in 1881. He was astounded to see a remote mountaintop covered in statues.
This is the tomb of King Antiochus. And if you notice, it's always facing the rising sun. And over there is the lion hen, which gives you power and authority. The eagle, which symbolizes leadership. And Hercules for strength. And of course, the king himself.
The man-made summit was formed when King Antiochus cut two ledges on the rock filled them with colossal statues of himself with the gods. He then ordered 50 feet of crushed rock to be placed on the top of the mountain. The severe weather and frequent earthquakes have toppled some of the heads, but recent developments are underway to restore Mount Nemrut to its original majestic beauty.
I'm getting cold. I think it's time for us to head down.
I think so too. So we'd better go a little up, then all the way down. If you want, there's mule, or you walk down.
Well, I was healthy enough to get up here.
Okay.
I can go down.
Okay, so when we get down, we take the minivan again, and we drive down to all the way to Cappadocia, and on the way we see Arsemia and the daughter of Antiochus tomb
Oh, so
and
it's
the
over there.
Roman bridge.
Okay, I like
And
to
all
see
the way
that.
to Cappadocia. Yeah.
And our friends are waiting for us in Cappadocia.
Based on what I have seen so far, Turkey hasn't failed to surprise me. Everywhere I looked was a tapestry of colors, smiling people, and stunning landscapes. The history in this place runs deep in the heart of every Turk. It seems almost impossible to believe that the places I have seen today are written about in the Old Testament. The mere fact that two religions with opposing views on a lot of things can coexist in peaceful environment gives me hope that humanity is heading in the right direction. I have Turkey to thank for that. My journey does not end here. Tune in again next week for the second part of our Turkish trilogy.
This has been your captain, Joy Roa. See you in our next Asian Air Safari.
Motion.